So the first new product I'm going to try out is this hashtag InstaFlawless Perfecting Radiant Skin Tint by Rimmel. So I actually just saw this at my local drugstore and decided to pick it up because it said Insta on it. To be honest, that is what caught me in. After I bought it, I went online, and I think a lot of people use this as like kind of a tinted moisturizer, but I'm going to use it as a primer, since you guys know I either wear really full coverage or nothing at all. So I'm going to use this as a primer. It says it has SPF 15. It gives a natural looking glow. It's supposed to give 24-hour moisturization and primes and perfects. So I hope it primes my skin. And I have this in the color light medium. It smells a little bit of something. I can't really put my finger on it, but it has like a familiar scent. Whoops. But anyways, as you can see, it has color. It's definitely not my color though. So the foundation I'm going to try out is this Mousse foundation by Essence. It's called Soft Touch Mousse Makeup in the color Matte Ivory. So I'm going to dot that on. I hope it matches my skin tone since I'm very pale. But I picked up this foundation because mousse foundations are typically really matte, and they are typically also pretty good coverage. And if you guys know me, you know I love those two. I love those two things. It is really soft to touch though. The Dream Mousse by Maybelline, that is very moussey and kind of dry. This one feels a bit more like hydrating. And I'm going to use my beauty blender to blend this out. I just cleaned this completely, but it's so stained. I'm liking how it blends out, but I'm not really liking the coverage. Why is this ear so fucking red? What the hell happened? Is it a sunburn? I'm not sure. So far it looks really smooth on my face, but yeah, the coverage is kind of lagging. I was expecting more. The color isn't terrible on me, but it is a little bit dark, so I'll have to blend it down the neck. So let's see if it's buildable. I'm going to add a second layer. It is definitely buildable, but still it's not, you know, it's not full perfect coverage. So far I like this foundation. It doesn't sit weird, it doesn't, you know, sit in the pores, emphasizes those, and it looks rather smooth on my face. So far so good. Now it's only a question about how well it lasts throughout the day. So for concealer, I'm going to try this Essence concealer. I picked this one up because it said high coverage. So this is the Essence Stay All Day 16-hour long-lasting concealer, and I have it in the color number 10, Natural Beige. So I'm going to use this concealer to highlight, so we shall see if it's actually full coverage. So I can already see it starts to oxidize, so it's definitely not as light as it looks. Can you guys see the oxidization over here? So that is definitely a bummer. I like my products to be the color that they actually appear to be. So far I'm not impressed with this concealer. As you can see, it has oxidized to the exact same color as my foundation. It looks so much lighter before it oxidizes. The coverage is okay. I wouldn't call it full or high coverage, but it's okay. And it seems to blend out somewhat decent. But again, because of the oxidization and because it's not as full coverage as I was expecting, I don't think I will be using this much more than this one time. So let's move on to powder. I'm super excited about this one. This is the Laura Mercier Translucent Setting Powder. So this is the one that everybody loves, so I hope I love it as well. It looks kind of yellow, doesn't it? So I'm applying a generous amount of this underneath my eyes. And I mean, I've only heard great things about this powder, so my expectations are very high. So I'm also going to use it all over the rest of the face. I know most people use it for baking, but I mean, it's a powder, translucent powder, so I should be able to use it all over. And of course, this is already a matte foundation, so it doesn't need that much powder. Okay, so it looks great. It really does. I have no complaints whatsoever. It really is great. I can see myself use this all the time. Okay, so next up I picked up this bronzer. This is the Essence Sun Club Matte Bronzing Powder for darker skin in the color 02 Sunny. They didn't have the one for lighter skin, so I picked this one up. It is such a huge pan of bronzer. And originally I had a shimmery bronzer that I wanted to try out, but I'm going to use a satin blush and a really shimmery highlighter. So I thought it would be more safe to go with something matte for my bronzer, so that's why I picked this one up. This one actually smells so good. It has like a faint scent of coconut, I think. It's faint, so it's pleasant, but it's definitely there. So it is kind of light. It's kind of funny to me that it's for darker skin tones, because I think it's kind of on the lighter side. I think it looks really nice though. I'm very pleased with how this bronzer goes on. That could be the foundation, the primer, the powder, or the bronzer, or a combination of those. But it goes on so smooth. I think it looks so great. I'm also just using the same bronzer to contour my little nose. So the next product I'm going to try out is this Essence blush. This is called the Satin Touch Blush in the color Satin Love. And Kathleen Lights recommended this one, so I thought I would definitely give it a go. It's so inexpensive. So I'm trying to apply a tiny little bit, because I'm going to do an orange lip, so I don't want too much color, bold color on my face. It definitely is a satin blush. It's not matte, so I'm really glad I stuck to a matte bronzer. So I'm just going to go ahead and blend all of it out. So the blush seems fine. It's not something I'm super hyped about. So on to something I'm super excited about. This is the BH Cosmetics Blacklight Highlighting Palette. So it comes with these 6 gorgeous highlighters. So I think I'm going to use the yellow color Electra today, since I'm going to be wearing that orangey lip. So let's go ahead and highlight the cheekbones. It's very pigmented, oh my god. It doesn't look very yellow though, does it? It looks almost like blue-white to me. So I don't know what's up with that. So I don't really know. I think it might be a little bit too intense for me. Like, it's insanely shimmery. I am a little bit disappointed in the fact that it doesn't show up super yellow, does it? I don't think it does. Maybe it does on camera. But in real life it doesn't look super yellow. The swatch is super yellow, but on the skin it just kind of looks white. But it is very intense, so if you're into that, you should definitely check it out. So I'm going to try and blend out the edges of this, because holy crap. So let me also go ahead and highlight these collarbones. And I'm also going to contour my collarbones a little bit. So to set all the powders in place, I'm going to use this Roche-Posay thermal spring water, kind of as a setting spray. Okay, so far so good. That setting spray really like kind of energized my skin. So now for brows, I'm going to try out this Technic brow pencil in the color brown. I don't know if it comes in other colors actually, but anyways, it's just a simple brow pencil. And it has a little spoolie on the end that I'm going to use. And it also has a sharpener in the cap, which is really handy. So I'm going to go ahead and fill in my brows with this pencil. And since I'm only using one brow product today, I'm going to use only the smallest amount in the front of my eyebrows. I quite like the brow pencil actually. It's quite creamy, but yeah, I quite like it. The only thing is, I think the undertone is a little bit off. I think it looks just a tiny bit purple. Okay, so I really like how my brows turned out today, and I actually really like this brow pencil. My expectations for this when I started were very low, but I really like it. I would totally use this again. So I'm going to use my concealer to clean up the brows, and I'm also going to use this to prime my eyes. So I'm just applying a little bit more, and this is going to be my eyeshadow base. So I'm going to start out this eye look with this MAC Pigment in Tan. I put it in this container that I got from H&M because I'm going to back to MAC the packaging. So I just wet the pigment, and now I'm applying it all over the eyelid. I mean, you can never go wrong with a MAC pigment, you just can't. So now I'm actually just using the bronzer in my crease because I don't have any matte eyeshadow that I'm going to try out. So as you can see, the pigment gets a little bit lost, but it's okay because we're just going to touch it up. I really like this bronzer, it blends really seamlessly. After I tried that Primark shadow, or used that Primark shadow in my last video, I have really come to realize how great some eyeshadows and some bronzers blend. So I'm using my face highlighter as my brow bone highlighter, and I bring it back down to meet up with the face highlighter, and I'm just going to blend the edges. Okay, so I'm going to use this color by MAC in my outer corner. This is called Antiqued, and it's a Deluxe Pearl eyeshadow. So I'm going to use my Urban Decay Naked Smoky brush to kind of get that going in the outer corner. And it has some fallout. And I actually got this by one of my friends for my birthday, and I'm so happy. I actually also bought the tan pigment with a gift card that I got from a family member for my birthday. So I just keep on working that in the outer corner and in the outer crease. I just use my blending brush to help blend it out. So around my tear duct, I'm going to use another MAC eyeshadow. This is called Gleam, and it's a luster. So I'm going to try and apply that around the tear duct. And I'm using a brush from eBay. It's actually a concealer brush. Gleam is like a beautiful duochrome. I don't know if you guys can tell, but it looks kind of yellow gold when the light hits it. And then, I hope you guys can see, it's more peachy when it's in the shadows. So I'm going to apply a bit more pigment on my eyelid. So far so good. You can't really go wrong with MAC eyeshadows, and you know, I'm really pleased with everything I used on my eyes. So along my lower lash line, I'm quickly going to apply the pigment and the darker color, and I will be right back. So for my pencil eyeliner, I'm trying out this one by Primark. So it's just called the PS Love eyeliner in black. And to be honest, I don't have too high expectations for this, but I'm going to try it out. I'm going to apply it on the waterline. So it's not very dark and it's not very creamy at all, and I will be very impressed if this lasts any time at all. For my liquid liner, I'm going to try this one by Essence. This is called the Essence Superfine Eyeliner Pen in Waterproof. Very important. So far I like this eyeliner. I find it pretty easy to use. Okay, so I'm pretty pleased with the eyeliner. So for mascara, I'm going to use the Essence I Love Extreme Crazy Volume Mascara. So I have already tried this mascara in the waterproof version. I like it, but I don't love it because it's not super waterproof, at least not for me. And then my friend Steph recommended that I try out the pink one, so I went ahead and got it. So this is a non-waterproof mascara. I do have a waterproof top coat that I'm going to put on, so we shall see. The brush is completely different from the one in the waterproof tube. The one in the waterproof tube is kind of big and has a lot of long bristles. This one is kind of plastic and has a lot of short bristles. But let's go ahead and try it. I already curled my lashes. Okay, so far I like it. It seems okay, but it has a bit of a wet formula, which I don't really like. I prefer more dry mascaras. So I'm going to build it up. I'm going to apply a second layer, a second coat. So we shall see. Okay, now that I have done 2 coats on this eye, I must say I really like it. It builds up quite nicely without clumping my lashes together. That is of course the bad thing about the drier mascaras. They easily get clumpy. Yeah, I'm really impressed. I really like this mascara. Okay, so my mascara top coat is going to be the W7 Keep 'Em Dry Waterproof Mascara Top Coat. And immediately this reminds me of my e.l.f. mascara top coat because it's that same kind of clear formula. So let me go ahead and try and put this on. Okay, so now I have this on and I can't really say much about it yet because I mean only time will tell if it works or not. But so far I don't think this is going to replace my Estee Lauder Little Black Primer because it isn't black. So it does make my lashes look more gray than black. So I also have some new falsies that I'm going to try. So these are by Essence and these are called the Fancy Lashes. So the lashes look like this. So far I'm not too hyped about them because as you can see they are shiny because they are plastic. So the lashes come with their own glue, but I'm going to use my duo glue. So you guys know the drill. I'm going to cover up the glue with some eyeliner. So what do you guys think of the lashes? I don't think they're horrible, but I don't think these are my new favorites. Just because they are plastic, so they are a little too shiny and they are not as full. They're not like as long and wispy as I would like them to be. But I mean, they're not bad and I will totally wear them again. So now finally for lips, I'm going to do an orange lip color. So this is the glazed lip paint by LA Girl. And this orange one is called Hot Mess. So since this is a lip paint, I want to use a lip liner with it. So I actually picked up this lip liner by Max Factor. And first of all, it's 5 years at least since I last purchased anything from Max Factor. And second of all, this is a clear lip pencil. And I have wanted to try a clear lip pencil for years and years. I think the first one I wanted to try was one from Too Faced, but I never got my hands on it and I think it has been discontinued for quite some time now. But yeah, I saw this at my local drugstore, so I picked it up and I really hope it works. So what I think I'm going to do with this is line right along the lip line, and then I guess that will act as a barrier so that my lip paint doesn't bleed. Okay, so let's hope it works because it's clear, so of course we can't see it. So now I'm applying the lip paint. And I'm using my BH Cosmetics lip brush. It is like super minty. It feels almost a little bit tingly on my lips. Okay, so this is what the color looks like. I am obsessed with this color. Okay, so here we have the finished look for now. I really like how the look turned out. I think the colors complement each other very well. Yeah, and overall I really do like most of the products that I have tried out. So now I'm going to go about my business and I will check in with you guys in a few hours to see how the makeup holds up. So right now it's 5 o'clock. I know I filmed these videos so late, but yeah, it's 5 o'clock and I will check back in some hours and we are going to see if the makeup still looks as good as I think it does right now. Okay, so I'm back now. It's almost 8 o'clock and the makeup has been on for 3 hours. So I know that 3 hours is not a full day at all, but sometimes shit happens, and next time I film a first impressions tutorial I will try to do it earlier on in the day. But anyways, let's look at the makeup. Okay, so as far as the skin goes, I'm very happy, I'm very satisfied. It is hot today, so I have been sweating, but my foundation still looks really good. I can tell it has been wearing off a bit around my chin, and it has gotten a bit oily, like around the nostrils or the sides of the nose. But it's nothing major. Other foundations I literally get shiny within like half an hour. So I would totally use this foundation again. As far as the concealer goes, it's not that bad, but I was expecting a lighter color and more coverage, so I probably won't reach for that again. However, I have no creasing underneath my eyes. I definitely think that is because of the Mercier powder, and I will definitely continue to use that. Also really like the cheek products. I think it has faded a little bit maybe. I think it has faded a little bit. But yeah, I still really like the blush and the bronzer, and I would use those again. And by the way, I would also use the primer again, but of course I have to test it out with a foundation that I know I love to make sure that it's a good primer. The highlight is still intense AF. By now I have kind of gotten used to it, but first when I applied it I was like, huh? But I will definitely use the highlighters again. I really hope some of the other ones show off more color, because I'm a bit disappointed. I don't think this looks very yellow at all, but I mean, you can't say that this isn't beaming, because holy fuck. I would totally also use this as a setting spray again. I think it's very refreshing and it doesn't make me look greasy or anything. So as far as the eye makeup goes, I really like the brow pencil. I'm pleasantly surprised with that. I think my brows look very nice and I would totally use that brow pencil again. Of course I would use the eyeshadows again. I love MAC pigments, I love MAC eyeshadows. The liquid liner, I don't really know. I think it's okay, but it's not as matte and as black as I would like it to be. Will I continue to use it? For sure, but it's not my favorite. And the Primark eyeliner that I used in my waterlines on top and bottom, I mean, it is kind of what I expected. It went on super sheer, and I mean, it has what do you say? It has come off out here in the outer corner, especially on this eye. This is my more watery eye, so I mean, it's just not long lasting at all. So that probably won't be my go-to eyeliner. So I don't know if you guys can see, but I have little bits of mascara on my cheeks, and I have a little bit over here. So the mascara or the top coat flakes a little bit, which I'm not a big fan of. However, as you guys can see, I have no smudges underneath my eyes. So I definitely think the waterproof top coat works, because if I use regular mascara, I will have smudges underneath my eyes in no time. Like, it will come like this. So it definitely works, but it makes my lashes gray. Can you guys see? I don't know if you can tell on camera, but I can definitely tell in the mirror that I can see that my own lashes are gray and then the false lashes are black. So this top coat won't replace my Estee Lauder little black primer until I find a waterproof mascara top coat that's black. I don't think anything will replace that. And as far as the lashes go, they're pretty decent. Yeah, I would totally wear them again. They're not my favorite because they are plastic. And they're not as long and wispy as I would like them to be, but they're not bad. And finally we have the lip products. So I hope you guys can see that it bleeds out here, and it has done that in both corners of my lips. So that is a bummer. And if I look real close in a mirror, it has also bled down here and a little bit around the cupid's bow. So I don't know if that is the lip paint or the clear lip liner. Maybe if I haven't used the clear lip liner it would be even worse, or maybe the clear lip liner did nothing at all. I really can't be certain right now, but I am impressed with how well the color, like how well that lasts, because I did eat dinner and I was trying to be somewhat careful, but I mean, I'm eating dinner. It's all of this is in action, so there's only so much you can do to prevent the lipstick from disappearing. But the color actually is still pretty nice and still pretty vibrant on my lips. So I'm pretty pleased with that. I'm just not too happy with the bleeding. And in that way I just think it's kind of impractical, because if I wanted like an orangey glossy lip, I would do an orange lipstick and then apply a little bit of gloss. And in that way it wouldn't bleed. When it's like a pigmented lip paint, it just, I don't know, it's more messy to me. It's not something I can see myself reaching for. Okay, so that was my update on these products. So I actually really enjoyed filming this video. I'm really starting to get excited about makeup again. Like when I went to the drugstore, I saw so many new exciting products from Maybelline and Max Factor and L'Oreal and Essence. There were so many things I wanted to try. So I'm really happy that I'm kind of getting my makeup love back. And I really think this was such a fun video to film, and I hope it was informative. So I think that's it. I don't want to talk too much here at the end, because I already know this video is going to be so long because I talk about so many products. So yeah, if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I will see you guys in my next video. So take care and bye bye.